the most highly secret and hidden and closeted, so to speak, story and conspiracy, or whatever you want to call it, that we have going is that of UFOs. Nothing, no story, nothing even remotely is as secret and as hidden and misunderstood as that of ufology, EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities, all of that stuff. It is like something you've never seen before. Stanton Friedman called it the Watergate of the millennium. And what's interesting about it is that nobody knows anything about it, but they've all got an opinion, and they'll give you a kind of a modified Drake occasion. Well, to me, it seems unlikely that we would be in a universe within the visible universe where we have approximately 400 to 500 billion stars, and I don't know how many planets per stars in our galaxy, and then 2 trillion galaxies. I think it's unlikely that there would not be anything other. Do you mean life? Do you mean a bacterium? Well, I don't know. Maybe, we're in the Goldilocks. And they just start talking shite. They just spew this stuff that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They've never researched anything. They don't know anything about the facts. They don't know anything about the history, the data, the evidence. Nothing. They have some crazy idea that they can't get there from here, that they get into a ship and they fly over every day. They go to work, with their lunch pail, and they fly. I mean, it's incredible. They don't know anything. They don't know anything about it, which is par for the course. Let me talk to you. I'm not going to give you a complete exposition on this, but I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff you probably didn't know. But first, let me ask you to please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and the like. And also, right now, as I am recording this in my native Florida, family and friends are worried about Ilalis, the latest iteration of storm surge or hurricanes or whatever the hell you want to call it. And we even got the word that Publix, which was the most famous supermarket in Florida, where shopping is a pleasure, the Jenkins family out of Lakeland, they're closing at 5 p.m. What? And then we're hearing in October, next month or October, they're going to have this, I don't know what you want to call it. They're going to have this national emergency. Thank you, my wife there. National emergency alert. And they're letting you know so that when they scare the bejesus out of you, you know what to be looking for. Something is happening, and you've got to go to preparewithlionel.com. for emergency food. I'm telling you, the first time anything gets squirrely, they're going to shut down stores. If there is any kind of a problem or hiccup when it comes to supply chain, when it comes to maybe contaminated fuel, like in Florida, where the diesel and the regular might get mixed up, or maybe more remember ransomware and malware. They shut down service gas stations because of what is going on here. And that's why you have got to take the time now, and you had better look into this right now. Preparewithlionel.com. They have a $200 of a 3-month emergency food order, 25 years shelf life, 120 pounds of food. I don't know what people think this is. They think maybe it's like MREs or banana chips or something. This is the state of the art. This is 2,000 calories a day. This is for one person. but I guess you can stretch it if you want, but I don't suggest it. But 90 days. Preparewithlionel.com. Fate, the future is looking at you now and saying, while you still can do this, free shipping, and they send it to you, no special markings on it, because you don't want to go to some Hunger Game crazy neighbor you're saying, you know, I saw that food delivered. Do you have any more of that? Get away. I'm doing a whip here. All right, my friends, preparewithlionel.com. I'm not kidding you. They used to laugh at prepping. Nobody's laughing now. Now, do I believe in UFOs? I guess. Have you ever seen one? No. From other planets, other systems, other dimensions? Well, yeah. I've never seen an electron either, but I know there's evidence of this. How much evidence do you want to hear? How many pilots? How many radar technicians? How many foreign pilots do you want to hear about? How many do you know how many pilots are flying around right now who were told? Tell you a quick story. A friend of mine is a commercial pilot, and when he was just starting off, there was an old timer who said, "There's one button in here," and they were in the cockpit. "There's one button in here that'll get you fired. One button." And he's looking around like, "What is he talking about? One button?" And he looks, he says, "Okay, I give up. Tell me, which button is it?" And he holds the mic and he goes, "This button." You never say you see something. You never tell anybody you see something. They will pull you off. Nobody's going to let you in control of how many souls, when you're saying, "I saw this big orb fly next to me." Okay, come on. There you go. Nobody says anything. Remember that famous, the Japanese pilot, he was doing a cargo plane or something, the famous one. People came to his radar. Technician said, "We track this thing." Remember Foo Fighters? This has been around since World War II. We saw these orbs, planes going this way, and this orb is basically keeping up with them and going around and stopping. And they're saying, "What is this?" We thought it was Germans. Germans thought it was us. Foo Fighters. It goes on and on. Rendlesham Forest, Phoenix Lights, Fife Simonton, the governor of Arizona. Shall I go on? I know this stuff, and you don't. All I'm saying is that there are people on death row whose sole evidence against them was somebody who saw something, who saw them do it, overheard them say something. That's it. What do you need to hear? Now, I'm with you. I'll be the first one to say, "I'd like a nice photo, please." But let me tell you, the gatekeepers out there, you know who they are. Brian Cox, "Oh, hello, it's all the time. Yes, and you see the beautiful planets." It reminds me of Doug Henning. And the magic, he reminds me of some British, he's always happy and except when it comes to UFOs. Oh, no, no, no. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the worst. Gatekeepers? No, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said, "If we ever hear you say anything." Carl Sagan, same way. "If we ever hear you say anything that indicates there's anything to this story, you will never be a part of any Hubble or Webb or anything. You will be disowned. You'll be in the ash heap next to Bill Nye." Thank God he's gone. The science guy or whatever it was. You notice how these people, there's no evidence of anything. No evidence of it. What do you need? What about this? Well, how come they don't get out and talk to us? How come they don't get out and talk to us? Who the hell wants to talk? What does that mean? When was the last time you ever were driving along the road, pulled over on the side, and went over to an anthill and started discussing nuclear fission with some ants or something? Why would somebody want to talk to us? Now, the Earth is what, 4.5 billion years? Is that it, roughly? Let me get this right. Age of the Earth. I think it's 4.5 billion years. That's 4,500 million years. That's 4,500 million years. Well, let's say there was something that was 4,501 million years. That's a million years more advanced than we were. Now, theoretically, the story goes that from 1903, what was 1903? Kitty Hawk. Let me do this again. I'm a stickler for this. Kitty Hawk, Wright brothers, remember this? 1903, roughly, Wright brothers. It was what, 19. When was this damn flight? Come on. Wright brothers. When flight? I'm always going to do this. Okay, 1903. I got it right the first time. But I like to be specific. From 1903 was Kitty Hawk, all right? 1969 was landing on the moon. I know what you're thinking. Don't start with me on that, okay? So that's 66 years. In 66 years, Kitty Hawk to landing on the moon. Okay. Imagine what a million years difference would be. Imagine if there was a planet with a million years. Okay, fine. Binary star system, Zeta Reticuli, maybe 30 so light years. Remember, relativity, the faster you travel, the time dilation, you don't have to necessarily go for 30 years. You can cover distances. Who knows? Parallel universe. I don't have to tell you how things get there, how they got. I don't know. All I'm telling you is that if you think that all of these stories and all of these sightings, most of them are explicable, most of them are not. But if you see all of a sudden, there you are, and you see, hey, look, there's an orb. And you look one of these things, there's an orb. Imagine this plasma glowing. And then it breaks into 2, and then 3, and then back to 1 again, and then disappears. What the hell is that? Could be military, could be us. And then you say, well, why wouldn't the government want us to know this? What? Why wouldn't the government? When was the last time your government wanted you to know anything? The people who are probably the most interested in keeping this quiet are military, what am I trying to say? Contract folks, the aerospace. Because let me tell you something, you get to the bottom of this. And what if I said, by the way, I can use this? Let's assume I know some people don't particularly care for this, but the notion of anti-gravitic travel and everything. If I did something that could theoretically destroy the whole notion of fuel as a propulsion medium, come on. And not only that, you see this world right here? You see this side of the world? You see all those different colors? Those are countries. And those are different languages and different perspectives and different monetary units and different languages. And they all feel kind of separate. They don't feel part of this earth thing. They feel like Palestinians and Jews and Syrians and this. But you know what? If all of a sudden, maybe, if somebody came along and said, guess what? We're a part of this cosmic universe. Well, guess what? That might change things. That could change a lot of things. And maybe there's a lot of folks who may not want this. Maybe there's a lot of folks who might not want this to be. Could be. But I'm not here to try to think of reasons why this can't happen. All I'm saying is there is more evidence. There are more pictures. There is more testimony than you would ever figure out. And the president of the United States is not the highest security clearance. There are people with umbras and zebras and ultras that you've never heard of. There may be a group of people that might be 3, 4, 5. And people can keep secrets. It's called compartmentalization. There are people who still never spilled the bean regarding Enigma. There are people who still, during the time of the Manhattan Project, there was 100-something thousand people in total. Not everybody knew about the bomb. They were doing something. So before you say no to something, before you say, no, this doesn't happen, this is impossible, do some research. Oh, and by the way, here's the best one. The Vatican, which is pretty cool about this, the Vatican has come up with the idea that says, there is nothing at all inconsistent with there being extraterrestrial or extraterrestrial people that might be similar to angels or our brothers or spirits. Here's the thing which is most interesting. The question that they ask is this: would these people necessarily be subjected to or be stained by original sin? Would they need the redemption and the forgiveness and of Christ? Do they need to be born again? If not, tell Joel Osteen that those are God's true chosen people, not us. They don't have to go through the hoops. They don't have to go through any of this stuff. Jesus didn't have to go to their planet to die on the cross because of their sins. Think about what that would do to the whole storyline. It would make people say, wait a minute. So believe me, there's a lot of folks out there who don't want this story to go any further than it already is. But do I believe there's something out there? Absolutely. What are you, nuts? What do you need? What do you need? Do you believe in wind? Yeah. Can you see it? Nope. But you see the effects. Speaking of wind, my friends, now's the time for you to call. I'm not making a joke about this. Preparedwithlionel.com. Emergency food is going to be something that one day I hope you and your family never need. But if you do, now's the time to do it. And My Patriot Supply is the best there is. Go to Prepare with Lionel right now. Get a $200 off a 3-month emergency food order. This isn't, you think I'm joking? You think this is a joke? You obviously don't understand the severity of this. Thanks for watching. Have a great and a glorious day. And comment after you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Comment as you see fit.